This is Simon Chien with Pathology at Shy 2020 to 2021 with digital theory and applications. In this video I'll demonstrate some digital sound systems that are used in the recording studio. These systems will include a Pro Tools 10 HCX system, Focusrite Net5, and Audio Dante network system. And I'll describe the processes of the analog to digital and digital to analog conversions, the benefits of them, and the configurations of how they work. So I'll put up on my screen here, starting with the Pro Tools 10 HCX system. Now, Avid introduced this HCX system as a digital signal processing, DSP for short, sound card, which can provide better quality with wider dynamic frequency range and super low jitter, which is caused by its analog to digital and digital to analog conversion. Back in 2001, Avid introduced the HC TDM by Pro Tools, which provided dedicated DSP power, low latency, dedicated track count, and modular expansion. Later in the next decade, and this is in 2011, Avid suggested, why don't we go up to the why don't we bring in some plugins, multi-tracks, and mixing power and flexibility in order to upgrade the HCX TDM? And there they did it. And I'll talk about this according to my research on the videos by Vintage King, according to the online sources. Now, according to the videos, the HCX system is a greater version, as well as it provides up to 5 times the DSP power per sound card, 4 times the track count, 4 times the delay compension, and this will all allow the more use of all these plugins with no issues, and 4 times of headroom. Now, as follows, excuse me, the Pro Tools HCX system includes Audio Suite plugins and TV Fritzbox, which will allow theatre quality and muffled quality versions for these plugins, which are very, very useful for things like multimedia production. This is film production, so you can use the Fritzbox for muffling voiceovers or actors' voices to make them sound TV quality like. The main reverb plugin, which is called the D-Verb on Pro Tools, is used at a heavier wet mix to provide the theatre quality for digital recording. Third-party AAX plugins are now useful for creating the expansion, and they feature a 32-bit floating point bit depth and 1000 decibels for great sound processing to your Pro Tools recordings. Pro Tools mix sessions are therefore interleaved before being bounced down in order to allow users to automatically open their WAV files on iTunes or on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is a free streaming service, and users can upload their bounce mixes for free until they can upgrade it to a bigger version. The HCX system allows up to 200 tracks, 400 auxes, 16 plugins, 16 stereo subbuses, including compressors, and an overall stereo bus compression. So therefore, it can hold up to 256 voices per card. The analog inputs and outputs of the Pro Tools 10 HCX system provides a 16-channel analog configuration, which is a high-quality standard for music production as well. It also has up to 2 channels of AS-EBU inputs and outputs, 2 channels of SPDIF inputs and outputs, and 8 channels of ADAT SMUX inputs and outputs. And all these 4 input and output bays allow any sound card to customize with a different optional sound card. Now we're going to move on to John Watkins' reference according to an introduction of digital audio about the clocking process. Now, clocking is a word that describes the timing of which analog to digital and digital to analog conversions take through a digital system, and this is called synchronization. The other word is called jittering. Now, jittering is processed by Jittering is caused by a clock's noise, and it's therefore converted into digital audio. So on the other hand, if you wanted, you can include an external clock to filter out the jitter if you didn't want any. But this cannot be used directly, but it's well designed. It has a well designed and a well developed phase lock loop. Okay, now let's swap screens here, and we're going to talk about the Dante audio networking system. Now, as you can see here, Dante audio systems have a wide range of analog devices. However, it now uses computer networks with all these equipment built into it, so this can allow up to hundreds of audio channels through Ethernet cables in order to provide a faster, readable and reliable routing system. This means that audio devices using the same network can be sent wirelessly through any sound device, no matter where they are located. So because of this, the Dante sound system provides a standard audio over internet protocol, IP for short, network. And this can allow up to digital audio to be packaged by an IP packet. Now, these packets can contain clocking information and IP addresses for sources and destinations to be written in them in order for them to be sent digitally to the correct destination via network. The bit depths for the Dante audio system is between 24 and 32 bit, and the sample rate is at 44.1 and 192 kilohertz. Okay. Here we are, and then now we're going to move on to the Focusrite Net5. Now, the Focusrite Net5 is a 2U32x32 Pro Tools HC interface that is also designed in relation to Dante for audio over IP networking systems. It has a sample rate of 192 kilohertz and a bit depth of 24 bits. The Focusrite Net5 includes a primary and expansion Digilink connector in order to connect the device to the inputs and outputs of any Pro Tools HC system. Now, in order for this to work, the Pro Tools system needs to have a native or a HCX card sound system or a legacy TDM system. Otherwise, if you don't have any of these at all, it's not going to work at all. And then as follows, the Focusrite Net5 has a word clocking synchronization in the loop sync, which you can see by the inputs and outputs on the back of it. For any any Pro Tools HC system. Last but not least, the RedNet system has an EES64 Ethernet connection for any hardware updates. And if you want to find any more information on the Focusrite Net5, the Focusrite website provides their contact details and more information should you need it. And that's it for now, and thank you for listening.